would.
Green-white beaters? That just seems awesome.
The Scrib Ranger seems really interesting, like with Knight and Mother. Getcha.
Yeah. That seems like really good.
It seems like better as a trick than a tutor target, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you can't really like tutor for it at sorcery speed and then like.
All right, so Dakota's going. He's going to mulligan, but cards like Silvergill Adept will help him get through a mulligan very easily. So if he draws one, he will just be back on par with card advantage.
And one of the really interesting cards in Kyle Miller's deck is Scavenging Ooze. Now this is one of the new cards from the Commander decks.
Yes.
And it's a 2/2 for 1 and a green, and you can pay 1 green and exile a creature from somebody's graveyard to put a +1/+1 counter on it and gain a life. Yeah,
the products Wizards have been coming out with all these, like, you know, Commander decks and all the duels are just awesome. Like the next product they're going to be coming out with is a Johnny versus Nicobolas, except the Dragon's going to crush him. But that's coming out on September 2nd, and it's going to be great. You get $2 off if you're a premium member at StarCityGames.com because the product costs $19.99, but you get it for $17.99.
That's pretty sweet.
Comes with a bunch of Planeswalkers.
Yeah, and I mean the event decks in general just have good cards in them.
Yeah, they're actually really fun. All right, so the game has been started. All right, I'm assuming that's Aether Vial from Dakota on turn 1. Well, Kyle starts with Birds of Paradise, which gets dazed.
Yeah, and Aether Vial lets you use those dazes really aggressively because you don't really need your lands as much when you're able to just tap an artifact and put your creatures into play.
Yeah. All right, so another Aether Vial in hand somewhat sucks for Dakota, though. You don't really want 2 with such a low number of spells.
Yeah, when you double Aether Vial, a lot of the time you end up with a hand that doesn't really do much.
Yeah. Especially with Kyle having, I think, multiple swords in hand. That's going to make it difficult for Merfolk to actually gain an edge in the match.
Yeah, I mean, Umezawa's Jitte is probably his best equipment pre-board.
Yeah.
But and he doesn't have Fire and Ice post-board. But.
So Green-White seems like a really good deck to play against Dakota because it's a bunch of creatures. They're bigger, like Mother Ruin gets...
He doesn't have islands.
He doesn't have islands. All your creatures are bigger. You get Mother Ruins to protect from any, shenanigans. Swords of Plowshare just helps out in any matchup. And like Mother Ruins is going to work great at protecting his creatures.
Yeah, Mother of Runes is just a really powerful spell.
Yeah. All right. Dakota draws the Adept, which is definitely going to help him out.
And he's going to go ahead and
attack for 2.
Attack for 2 with his Mishra's Factory. And that Mishra's Factory is from the Elspeth vs. Tezzeret dual decks.
That's a Mishra's Factory?
Yep.
Oh, he's 1 Mishra's Factory. I mean, Elspeth versus Tezzeret, I know Elspeth had a little edge, but not as much of an edge that Nicobolas is going to have over Johnny. All right, he flashes in Aether, or Silvergill Adept, draws, I think, another one? That would be unreal.
Yeah, if he drew another one, that would be really,
yeah, he did.
Good.
He drew another one, and a Lord of Atlantis.
Oh, wow, his draw has developed.
No, I think he just
well.
drew 2 Silvergill Adepts.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. That's really, really, really good.
That's kind of disgusting that 3 of them were just beside each other.
Yeah.
All right. Mishra's Factory, and I mean, why would he do this? I mean, he's going to flash a Lord in. And now that's going to get swords. And now he's going to flash another Lord in.
Nope,
oh no, he's flashing an Adept in.
His 1 Adept just dies.
And now he just hit a Daze, which isn't going to do anything. I don't like attacking with the Adept there. It doesn't gain much value. Yeah. Like, even if he blocks and protects it, and he flashes the Lord in, it's still, like, they're just going to bounce off each other, and the 2 is going to come through. So, like, that Mishra's Factory is still going to deal damage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not going to get... You can't give it protection from Mother Ruin, so attacking with the Adept just seems like a potential blowout and no upside.
I agree.
And Yeah. So now Kyle gets to go, and I think you just do a Jite.
Ooh, that's going to be really good.
Yeah, it's going to be good next turn. This turn he's going to play a guy or two.
And next turn he'll have the 4 lands he needs to play it and equip it.
Yeah, or he already has the lands.
Ooh, yeah, well, I mean, this turn he may wasteland to get rid of that factory.
And he doesn't want to run his, Mother Ruins into an Adept.
Yeah, even though the 2 Jit counters might be worth it for some creatures, having an active Mother Ruins in play is just such a powerful ability when you're in a creature-on-creature matchup.
I mean, even though Dakota doesn't have any spot removal, still giving creatures protection like he did last turn is very valuable.
Yeah.
All right,
it
confusion.
almost makes it...
All right, so there was a problem with shuffling. We're going to resolve it with Dakota shuffling again.
All right.
I think Kyle might have cut his own deck on accident.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's something that...
Going back to the old pre-M10 rules.
I've definitely done it by accident.
Oh man, do you remember the M10 Nationals with mulligans and shuffling and all the crazy
no
things?
No idea what was going on all the time.
So the Green Sun Zenith gets dazed. That buys Dakota some time.
And let's see what he's got for this turn.
Well, he does have another Adept.
Yeah, which is
and a Mutavault.
Good. Ooh, and that's also pretty good.
All right, Adept comes into play, the trigger. And a Curse Catcher, not the most exciting card ever.
Yeah, he could have done much better than that.
But Mistress Factory is going to beat Kyle down to 12.
Yeah.
He equips one Adept with the other one. Does that make them 4/2s?
One of them is like giving the other one a piggyback ride.
Yeah.
Through the ocean.
Jumping on a Chocobo.
Underwater piggyback rides. Dakota goes ahead and plays the Mutavault. That way he can attack with the next turn.
All right, 5th land for Kyle. I wonder if he's going to get some decent creatures into play.
And
like a Tarmogoyf.
Tarmogoyf's a pretty decent creature.
I hear he's a good creature.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Kyle's going to drop down to 11 here, and he's probably going to stick his Jit.
Yeah, get it into play.
And now he can pass the turn. And keeping that wasteland up makes it strange for Dakota because he's going to have to dump mana into one of those lands.
Well, I mean, what's strange is the, 4/5 Tarmogoyf staring at him.
Yeah. That's the strangest of all.
All right, so I mean, he can play a Curse Catcher, and then he can flash in the Lord of Atlantis, but everything looks really bad right now.
Yeah, it seems really rough. The Jit alongside the Mother of Runes with another creature in play is just very difficult for any creature-based deck to...
Especially Merfolk, without any removal, any tricks. He does have a couple Dismember, but he hasn't drawn any. That'd be really good if he had that right now. All right, plays his 4th land. And there's not much you can really do.
I think he's probably just going to pass, maybe play the Curse Catcher.
I mean, yeah, you're going to play Curse Catcher, and you're going to say go. I mean, Tarmogoyf's going to get it suited up, attack.
And now we get to see what Kyle has to offer this turn.
Well, he's thinking of sacking his land to see if he can draw a spell that matters.
I think he just equipped an attack right now.
Oh, wow, I didn't even see that. That is a 1 of Tarmogoyf.
Yes, he can Zenith for it. Yeah. Alright, so Kyle attacks with an equipped Tarmogoyf. And Dakota's got to go into the tank now.
What can he come out of the tank with?
Yeah, I mean,
he's just gonna have to he's gonna have to play the Lord, hope he activates it right away so he can flash the Lord in, so then he kills off only 1 Adept, and then he top decks a Dismember.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. That is the line that he must find. So he takes the damage. He hopes he activates it. In response, he's going to flash the Lord in. In response, he's going to kill it. And...
Let's see.
Quips, okay. Okay, now he's dead.
Yeah. Double wasteland.
Alright, dismember.
Enough. No.
Alright.
It's a wasteland. Yes, this seems very, very bad. I'd almost go to game 2 so that I had enough time to finish it.
Battles, double wasteland. Block your lord. Protection from blue. Go to 5. Kill your lord. Kill your adept. Kill you.
Yeah. Or you could block adept. Blocking adept's better. Remove both counters, kill lord.
Oh, and you lose, yeah.
Yeah. Save a point.
Yeah, you're correct. Two curse catchers, no cards in hand. Or a curse catcher, 2 as
A
well.
little better.
Alright, Goyf comes in again. Bashes for another 4 damage.
Yeah.
I mean, drops him down to 12, correct?
Yep. Now,
Kills off the catcher.
let's see what Dakota can draw.
Mutavault. The one thing you never watch this much Magic than when you watch here on live. You know, when I'm doing
when
this
you're
commentary, and people play out the most like crazy games. I got to give them credit for these like sitting through these beatings. I have never sat through a beating like this.
Yeah, everybody does it.
Everyone does it.
I mean, I don't.
So I scooped too early.
Maybe I scooped too early too.
I mean, I know Joshua Layton says I scoop too early all the time, but I don't think I do. I like think of every single possible out I can possibly have, and if I don't have any, I just scoop.
Yeah.
But like that, I mean, Dakota had to know he was going to lose that game, but he just played it out, let it happen. All right, so Dakota lost game 1, but let's see if he can do anything on the sideboard. So he has 3 Dismerge, obviously really good.
Yeah, the
2
submerges
GT.
are really strong. So are the Jits. They can
I'd
legend
say
roll out the other
Dismember.
Jits. I would definitely bring in Dismember. And I would bring in Mental Misstep.
Yeah, and Mental Misstep seems very good. And then on Kyle's side, Kyle's got 3 Path
I would
to
also probably
Exiles.
bring in Phyrexian Metamorph because
I was thinking about that too.
Yeah, if he's playing the Jit, then you know he has Stoneforge, and then you can like copy Batterskull and
Yeah.
stuff like that with it.
So Kyle's bringing in 3 Paths and 2 Chokes for sure. He might bring in Enlightened Tutor, but I have no clue what Enlightened Tutor does. Is that the enchantment or artifact?
Yes, one
That's
white.
a strange... Oh, just to go get a Null Rod or a Canonist or a Metamorph?
Yeah.
He just got like this little tutor package?
Yeah.
So
So
like
we can have like 3 cards against that many
3
decks in his
against
sideboard,
yeah.
instead of having just like
What's Null Rod?
Null Rod is
Artifacts don't have abilities,
yeah, artifacts.
right? It's
can't have
Damping Matrix,
abilities.
but better?
Yes. It's Damming Matrix, but better. Exactly. Damming Matrix is like the fixed Null Rod.
Because Null Rod was too good?
No, it's just kind of like a deck that made a lot of decks not playable. Kind of a card that just made a lot of decks not playable. It's just like the activated abilities can't be activated.
At
it
all?
only costs 2. Yeah.
Wait, any activated ability?
On artifacts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Wait, what does Damming Matrix say? I thought it said it's activated abilities of artifacts, so it's the same thing except it costs 1 more?
Yeah.
Wait, look up Damming Matrix. I want to make sure that that's what it says.
Well, Damming Matrix has the
Creatures as well.
unless they're mana abilities, whereas
Oh.
Null Rod, like if somebody's playing artifact lands and you play
They
Null
just
Rod,
shut
they,
down.
they cannot tap their artifact lands for mana.
Wow.
Like if somebody is
Really?
Like, they can't tap their Moxes for mana. They can't... Yeah, Null Rod, just...
That's powerful.
Yeah, it's a really strong card.
Yeah. All right, so he's going to bring in his Paths, his Chokes, and he's not going to bring in Enlightened Tutor. And maybe his Metamorph.
Yeah, and the whole idea of Enlightened Tutor in a deck like this, like, yeah, it's card disadvantage, but the cards you're getting for the specific matchups you're getting them for, they're cards that just, like, outright win you the game.
Yeah.
So if you can have, like, 3 of each of those cards in a sideboard, that's actually really strong. So that seems like a cool sideboard plan.
Yeah, I like Kyle's sideboard plan. People, like, and I bet, you know what? I bet he's been playing this forever. I love just the pet side of these decks, you know?
Yeah.
He's probably been playing this deck for a while.
Because it looks really well tuned.
Yeah, it looks like he's worked on it. Like, who would have thought of Scrib Ranger? I bet there's just a situation where it's like, I need to activate Mother of Ruins twice.
What can I do to activate my Mother of Ruins twice?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Scrib Ranger? It's a pretty good idea.
The one Will and Sun and Moon. Oh, I guess that goes with the 2 Enlightened Tutors as well.
Yeah.
I like the double choke, though. Maybe he brings Enlightened Tutor in so he can go get Jite or Choke.
Huh.
Because Jite is the kind of card that just outright wins you the game.
Yeah, I mean, Dakota's siding them in 2, so using 2 cards to get 1.
Yeah, but Kyle doesn't know that Dakota has them, and I bet Kyle would sacrifice 2 cards to get rid of a Jite. If Dakota has a Jite.
That's true. He has Pride Mage and stuff.
Well, you never know.
Alright.
I mean, what about end of turn, your opponent taps out 3 islands, and a turn you like Enlightened Tutor for Choke, though? I mean, the first Legacy Sanction match I ever played, I just tap out on turn 3, and your chick just goes and does that to me, and I'm like, oh. Like, I didn't even know that was possible.
That's brutal.
It wasn't Choke, it was the other one.
Back to
Non-basics,
basics?
yeah. But he Enlightened Tutor for Back to Basics, and it's just like, alright, I lose. Like, I could have fetched for Basics. I had no clue that card existed.
It's a really good card.
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the most underplayed cards in the format.
Back to Basics? I bet Scrib Ranger is one of the most underplayed cards.
Like, underplayed for its power level.
Oh, okay.
It's my,
Wait, are you dogging on my Scrib Ranger, bruh?
No, I mean, in this deck it seems really good.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, usually, whereas Back to Basics is just like really, really insane against tons of things.
Okay, so we're Green Sun Zenithine for a
Dryad Arbor.
Dryad Arbor. Seems like a really busted ability.
Yeah, for it to just be like at worst a Llanowar Elf.
Yeah.
That's something you can do in Modern.
I mean, the only bad part about that is having to play 1 copy of Dryad Arbor.
Yeah.
It's just the worst. I wonder if anyone, obviously someone's done it, but I bet it really sucks if you're on the draw and you're going to do that and you draw your Dryad Arbor.
I'm sure it's happened to people.
Oh, of course it has to.
Oh, it got submerged. That's actually brutal.
Dakota did that during Kyle's end of turn. He should have waited until his main phase. Just, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it's still the play that should be made.
All right.
He has one of his other submerges in hand as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, double submerge is going to be huge against Kyle.
Is that Coralhelm Commander?
It is.
The one, the only?
Yeah, he's a master. He's standard legal and sees no play in standard. Tons of play in legacy.
Well,
it's different. I know.
Yeah.
You can't play 2 Mana Lords and Force of Wills and Dazes in standard.
And no, it's not that. It's that you can't play Primeval Titan in Extended or in Legacy.
Yeah. Maybe people can't just have that amount of spot removal. Like, the level creatures are actually really good in Legacy.
I do love that how that happens though in Magic, where like a card that's unplayable in Standard is a bomb in Legacy, and vice versa.
Yeah, in this format where you're allowed to play with like any card.
All right. Mother Ruin goes on top as well. Isn't that very aggressively using your submerges?
Yes.
Too aggressive, right?
It may be a bit too aggressive, yeah. I mean...
Because it's card disadvantage for each person. The reason that submerges so well is because it's so good at tempo.
Yeah.
Creating a tempo advantage. And I don't know how much of a tempo advantage Dakota is getting.
But with the Dryad Arbor, I like to play.
Yeah, Dryad Arbor's sweet. Yeah, that's a land. You're stone raining him.
And I guess on the Mother of Runes, it's fine too, because if you don't do it to the Mother of Runes, then you can just never do it.
And then it gets active, yeah. Oh, that's true. You have to do it to Mother of Runes.
Yeah. So it's actually fine both times, too.
Alright, so Bile comes down. Silvergirl Adept revealing Lord of Atlantis comes down. Mother comes back down.
Yep. And
he's just going to path the Coral Helm right now.
Swords.
Or Swords, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, again, I like how Kyle Miller looks in this match.
Yeah, I like... Well, I mean, creature on creature, Mother of Ruins, no islands, like... Seems like a very rough match for Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
Like, green-white beats... Like, when I was playing Junk, I played against Fish, and I played against some other aggressive decks, and I felt way ahead, because I had cards like Knight.
Yeah.
And,
Your guys are
Swords
huge.
to Plowshare, and... Tarmogoyf, yeah, the creatures are just way bigger. I think Dismembers... I think I like the play of Dismembering, activating Mutavault, attacking for 6, but that seems pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just Vial and then Dismember? Why not? Dismember seems like you want to Dismember the Mother Runes.
Well, this Vial's only on 1, right?
I thought Vial was on 2. It might be on 1. I would have still just Dismembered. I want to get that off the table.
Yeah, I mean, now that it's active, it's...
Yeah, Vial is only on 1, but that still scares me.
And Kyle's telegraphing another Swords or a Path in his hand.
He's telegraphing. Actually, this is going to work out because he's going to try to Mother and Protect, and then he's going to Dismember the Knight, which is really good. Oh, wow. Oh, that was an Adept. I thought it was a Lord.
The Lord would have been really good.
Adept still should be fine.
And...
just an island.
Draws an island.
He's using my favorite island of all time.
The Zendikar...
Bucket.
The bucket.
Yeah.
Pouring the water. Floating bucket. I wonder where all that water comes from inside of it. Just doesn't make any sense to me.
Alright, yeah, Knight's going to get out of the way. So, Kyle's going to take 3 damage while Dakota takes 4. Didn't really seem like a profitable combat step. Dakota lost more life than Kyle did.
I don't know. Right now it seems like Dakota's pretty far ahead. And then again, Dakota's out of gas entirely.
I think that's what you call a double Mother.
Ooh. And that ooze is scavenging.
That is going to be very good. Is Dryad Arbor active? I think it must... No, it is not. It just got played.
Yeah, I think he just played it.
So you can only activate it once. It's just going to hold the Lord back.
Another Silverkill Adept? This guy, like...
But I think he just ticked up his Vial to 3.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, he's just going to have to tap all his lands to cast it.
That's a little awkward.
Yeah. It is, in fact, a little bit awkward. And this ooze can really get big.
Yeah, the ooze is going to be able to get to a 3/3 now. Then after that, it gets out of control. I don't know what he's supposed to do. Like, he can activate, yeah, he activates Mutavault and he attacks with all that. This means that either the ooze kills something and gets protected, and now he goes back up to 9 life, and he will drop to 3 life, which I think is fine. Or he's just going to chump with Dryad. All right, so just jump with Dryad. That'll put him at 6 life total. Protecting the ooze.
Yep. I like that play.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
So, they're both pretty much in top deck mode.
Yeah. Yeah, but like board position well goes to Kyle because he has the ooze and he has mothers. Like,
yeah.
Dakota does have a Silver Girl Adept that he can't play, but
Ooh, it's a path for the Lord.
I like it. Path on Lord means that Dakota's limited army is way smaller than anything. Like his Mutavault is going to get blocked by ooze if he wants to attack, and both his mothers can block Silver Girl. Like he's very far behind.
Not looking good at all for him now.
What was that?
Yeah, it's just not looking good for him at all.
No, and Scavenger's going to be able to gain another life off the Dried Arbor, get another counter.
That's surprisingly good. Is that another dismember? I believe it is.
Doesn't seem very playable right now.
With 2 Mother of Runes, it's kind of a tall order to successfully dismember something.
There's a Lord.
Jeez, he draws pretty live sometimes. I guess he has a lot of lands too, though.
I mean, I think what he wants is a Mara Regery.
Yeah.
So he can start tapping guys down. All right. Who's going to take one of Dakota's creatures? Because you can only remove creatures, correct?
You can remove whatever you want,
but you only gain
gets
a life
bigger and you only gain life if you
off
remove
creatures.
Yeah. So, like, you can remove their Bridge from Belows or their Dread Returns if you need to, but you're only going to gain the life and get the +1 swing counters when you're removing creatures.
Yes, that's true.
So let's see what. All right, Kyle decides to bring some beats.
All right, so Dakota really needs to draw something amazing here. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, now that Kyle attacked with that ooze, Dakota can probably activate this Mutavault and get an opportunity to use his Dismember, because Kyle's going to have to tap both of those mothers.
Yeah. You can get rid of that ooze.
Why didn't he...
What do you mean?
Get some value first. No, I guess it's fine.
No, he's still going to get value. He just wanted to make sure that there's no misstep, so he... Just full value. He has to in-response before any creatures die.
Yes, he absolutely has to.
Because I don't think there's a creature left in the graveyard.
I think he's deciding whether or not he wants to kill a mother or the ooze, but he has to kill the ooze.
Yeah. I don't know how he's going to beat him. I mean, he's, I guess, a Coral Helm commander.
Yeah, Coral Helm commander can take it home.
Start flying over the top. If he draws dead, I mean, Mutavault's going to keep crashing.
Alright, yeah, he's pretty deep in the tank right now, yeah. Like, I mean, that's fine. This is kind of a difficult spot to be in. Oh, wow, what the... Alright, well, he didn't, Yeah, so Kyle still gains the life, though.
Sweet.
I'll go 7. And Dakota did get to deal with that I'm not sure why Kyle didn't do something there.
All right, another Mutavault helps out.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess he's holding that the mothers in case Vile the one spell, I guess. So it's just a creature. Wow, this is crazy.
I think it's just a land.
Dakota is drawing his way out of this. Mero Regery?
Mero Sovereigns.
Or Mero Sovereigns. That's great.
And Kyle gets down to 2. And it looks like we might have a game 3 now.
Yeah, it definitely looks that way. Yep, we're going to game 3.
A few spells in a row for Dakota and a few lands in a row for Kyle, and we're off.
All right.
And that submerge was pretty huge there.
Yeah, both submerges. The tempo loss, even though I didn't think it was going to be as grand as it was, those were the correct plays. Just making that mother not be active for an extra turn, a little bit of extra damage, along with stopping Dried Arbor from letting him excel into a turn 2 Night of the Reliquary, really did the trick.
That was very well played by Dakota. There were a few times where we might have disagreed with him a little bit, but his plays bore out to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So, being on the play is going to be pretty huge here too.
Yeah, I mean, if Kyle can get out of the gates, that's going to be very big, especially if he can have a Stoneforge Mystic, and Dakota doesn't have a Daze or a Force of Will. He's able to get Batterskull, Jite, anything to get a really big edge on board.
Yeah, I mean,
as you can see behind Dakota, Pat Cox is watching all of his next victims.
Yeah.
On his way to Edgar Trophy Hands.
Edgar Trophy Hands. The best game of all.
It's going to be really sad if multiple people get Edgar Trophy Hands and not Edgar.
Poor Edgar.
Like if
without Trophy Hands.
Pat gets it second, then we have Burton Cheney.
It's pretty sick that Edgar is in first by that much.
Yeah, by almost 10 points.
Especially because he didn't even go to the events for the first month and a half, 2 months when all the